Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, of course, which is Mansell Media Corner, and today is not about Blu-rays. Today is about another hobby of mine, which is superhero graphic novels. As you can see there, I've got the Man of Steel himself, which is Superman t-shirt on. But yeah, I do love my superhero graphic novels. So without further ado, this is the Earth's mightiest hero, and it is the Celestial Madonna from the 1970s, and on the cover is Mantis, of course, from the Guardians of the Galaxy, which more famous for the Guardians of the Galaxy, but nearly all of the Marvel heroes have been in Avenger, and she certainly was in some early 70s, I would say. So that's the Celestial Madonna, Earth's mightiest heroes. And this is an awesome storyline, this was. I'm surprised Marvel have not done anything in related to TV or film. But this is House of M. What a great storyline this is, to do with Scarlet Witch's kids, I believe. So yeah, so that's House of M by Brian Michael Bendis. But what a really good, powerful storyline this is. This is the Ultimate Edition. Next is The Flash Rebirth by Jeff Johns. I think this was to do around the New 52. And then we have Avengers, the Serpent Crown, where them fighting. At the time it was this Squadron Supreme, who was basically Marvel's answer to the Justice League, I think. There's a Squadron Supreme. At the time you had Hyperion, which was Superman, and lots of other guys. And of course you got the classic Avengers lineup of Iron Man, Captain America, Vision, I think it's Wasp was in there, Scarlet Witch and Black Panther. They're definitely one from the 1970s where you've got the Avengers versus the Defenders. But you've got a big bout at the time, which was Hulk versus Thor. So yeah, you got Avengers versus Defenders, and Steve Englehart. Is it Englehart? Steve Englehart and Sal Buscema, I think it is, on the writings. I'm not too sure who Brown is. So yeah, that's Avengers Defenders War. There's the back. Another awesome storyline at the time, which was Avengers Kree School War again. What an epic storyline at the time this was. There's the front with the giant Goliath, I think it was. There's the back with the Vision. But you've got the likes of Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, Sal Buscema and John Romita. Pardon my bad, it's Sal Buscema, John Buscema, Roy Thomas and Neil Adams. What a really powerful image this is. These epic collection of various comics, but in graphic novel, and what an awesome image this is. Very powerful. I'm going to say I think this was 1974, 75, which at the time was very powerful for Marvel, which is the death of Gwen Stacy by a Green Goblin. But what an image this was at the time. That's it. Romita was involved in this period from Spider-Man. If you do not know, Spider-Man, like my good friend Evander over at Slayer Reviews, is a massive Spider-Man fan. So yeah, you've got Goblin's Last Stand. Next is a DC classic. It's called Hush. With Jeff Loeb and the legend that is Jim Lee. There was 2 parts of this. This is volume 1. And definitely for 1984 was an amazing crossover event, which is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. But what an awesome storyline this was at the time. Yeah, you got Jim Shooter involved in this. This was when Stan Lee, I think, was head of Marvel Creative. But what an iconic image this was. And this one is more iconic for the debut of the black costumed Spider-Man, which would like to be Venom. Then, I remember the game coming out around 1994 or I'm going to say 93 or even 1992 on the Sega Mega Drive, but this is the comic. This is the graphic novel of Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. As you can see there, it's Cletus Cassidy himself, which is Carnage, but what an iconic image at the back. Spider-Man, Venom and Carnage. Let's have a look who's created. So many great artists and writers. And I had this for my birthday, but this has got a lovely spot gloss. And it is covering the first 4 issues of The Amazing Spider-Man, with the legends no longer with us in the comics. But it's Stan Lee and the legend that is Steve Ditko. And of course, which is the iconic Amazing Fantasy 15, I think it is, from 1962. And I definitely know I've got it in the Blu-ray, but this is Civil War, which is friend versus friend, foe versus foe, and you got Captain America versus Iron Man. And yes, whose side are you on? Bit of a spoiler, but what a storyline this was. This was done by Mark Miller, who you may not know in comics did a kind of a small film, but I love it, called Kick Ass. So yeah, that's Civil War. And to coincide, I'm surprised Marvel haven't done this storyline, which was Siege. But what an awesome period this was for Marvel. Yeah, this was to coincide with Secret Invasion, I think. So yeah, you've got the legendary Siege, which I've read, which is amazing. And when Marvel and when Avengers and the X-Men had a crossover, that they had like a team up. So I've got the Uncanny Avengers, and they take on the Sentry, Daken, who is Wolverine's son, and of course Apocalypse. And this was when the Sentry is part of the 4 Horsemen. Now, a bit of a spoiler, and Daken. So yeah, you've got the Uncanny Avengers. And the legendary Todd McFarlane from Spider-Man. I think this is early 90s. But yeah, what a great period for Todd McFarlane in Spider-Man. There you go, Spidey and Wolverine. And I actually loved this computer game, but this was to coincide which I believe my auntie got me for Christmas 2020, during that period we don't talk about. But this is the Avengers Road to a Day. Enter the gameverse. If you don't know, it was to coincide with Avengers, I believe, the game, which is really cool. And we've got the Avengers Operation Galactic Storm, part of the Epic Collection. There's the front, and there's the back. I think that's Quasar, I think his name is. And this is part 2 of Hush. There's a couple of the villains. The Riddler, of course, the Dark Knight himself, and of course the ever so popular villain in the Batman universe, of course, which is the Joker. Then we have When Gods Walked the Earth, the Eternals, with the Hulk on the front cover. This was the returning, the late great Jack Kirby. And the last one is a very powerful storyline, but I believe they covered it in the original X-Men 1992 cartoon, which is the Dark Phoenix Saga. What an iconic image from 1980, I think it was 1980 or 81. You've got the writers Chris Claremont and John Byrne, penciler and co-plotter. So yeah, that's all of my superhero graphic novels. Like I always say, I will give some additional shout outs for some of the guys in the film and TV, and some guys in the guys who love comic books. And there are some guys who talk about superheroes who I occasionally watch. So yes, don't forget to like, please, share and subscribe, and there will be some more Blu-ray rankings, etc, etc, etc. So thank you for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like, please, share and subscribe, and I will see you on another video. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.